there have been two major mindset shifts that have helped me feel a lot better about my own skate progress lately. The first one is removing expectations entirely. The problem with expectations is that you can either reach them and feel great, or miss them and feel terrible. For example, if I expect to learn shove-its in a month because I think it's going to be an easy beginner trick, I might be crushed to find out that it's actually very difficult, and even after 2 years of practice, they aren't every try or even close. In a similar vein, if I landed my best kickflip ever last week and expect to land an equal or better one this session, I might be sorely disappointed, because I might not even come close this week. I might only catch toe drags or miss all of them entirely. I think that's a funny thing about tricks in skateboarding in general. You can land them, start to land quite a few, and then completely regress into not being able to land a clean one or one at all. And when you expect to skate at a certain level and can't, that's a big drain emotionally. So I try to remove all my expectations of a session. I try to approach it as a singular session. Landing tricks previously doesn't mean I'll get them today. Today is what it is. I work on the random tricks that come to mind, I try to have fun in the moment, and I try to detach myself from any expectations. Then I can't be disappointed. But it's not a bad thing. I can just engulf myself in the moment and what is, and distance myself from any frustration or disappointment if I fail to reach any trivial expectations that I put onto my own skating. So what, Sarah? Does that mean we should just throw away our ambitions and roll around? Well, maybe, if you want to. The second half of this equation I've been able to articulate just recently, and that's finding a balance between ambition and contentment. If I'm only ambitious and never satisfied with my skating, it might take a huge toll on me mentally. But if I'm only content and never trying new things or pushing myself, skating might get a little boring. For me personally, I do enjoy learning new tricks and skills. So I've come across the idea of balancing ambition with contentment. To be ambitious and try to go as hard as I want to, but then to also be content with where I am now currently and how far I've come. I think a perfect example of both of these concepts together is my heel flip. I landed a few accidental heel flips about 1.5 years ago, and then never tried them again. But this month, I started practicing them a few times here and there, and quite quickly landed this stationary one last week. But this weekend rolls around, and I know that I can do a heel flip, but I remind myself not to expect that I'll land one. Just landing it once doesn't mean I'm going to land it again in my next session. And then today while practicing, I tried to put in some good effort to work hard for one, but before I hurt myself, before exhausting myself, and before feeling frustrated, I felt content with 1, getting my feet on the board, but also 2, knowing that I put in some hard work today, and putting in that hard work is enough. Because I know even a little bit of hard work every session is going to compound and get me to that heel flip. It's also why I was content with these wildly bad nollie frontside big spin attempts. I don't want to land it, I just want to start getting familiar with it. That's it, I want to try a few with no expectations and just wing it for a little while. So just 5 terrible attempts without any expectations. I think I often find myself unhappy when I judge the outcome of a situation mostly because it didn't reach my expectations. So it's all about that perspective shift for me. I don't want to think that I suck at skating because I didn't get the shove-it unlocked this year. Instead, I want to think that I put in 50 hours worth of shove-it practice this year and am that much closer to my goal of consistency. Excited to keep putting in the work, but also satisfied that I know I've put in a lot of hard work already.